here is how we organise our homeschool, and this is my version of Sue Patrick's Workbox system. It's how we implemented it in our home, and it works well for us. So you can see I've got 12 plastic envelopes on the table, and each have numbers on them, and I've just put them all out here to show you how they get organised, but now I'm going to put them all in the box and show you how it actually works. Okay, so what I've done is I've put all of the envelopes back into a basket, and this is my 10-year-old daughter's work, and she's the filmer, so she's doing a good job. And what I've got here is a schedule strip, and each little schedule strip has a little card with a Velcro backing that you can see, and you can just buy these as sticky Velcro dots from the shops. And you put it all together, and there is 12 envelopes, and there is 12 sticky numbers. So what happens is all of their work is kept in this one basket, so they don't have to go looking for any of their work. And they sit down, most of our homeschooling's now done at the kitchen table, they bring in their basket and they get their schedule strip and they pull out their first box. So her first box for today, or envelope, says that she's got to read one page, and I've put on a little note with a sticky post-it note. So she reads her one page. After she finishes reading her page, she puts it back in the envelope. She gets her schedule strip number 1. She puts it on her envelope, and then she puts it down beside her. Then she goes to the box and gets her next one. So the next activity that she has to do is all together here. So it says here that she has to read a half page of this book. So she reads this, and she has to write a couple of sentences on her notebooking page, and she does that. And when she finishes the notebooking page in the chapter, she sticks it into her Australian notebook that we're working on at the moment. So after she's done that activity, she puts it all back into her container, envelope, closes it up, and puts her strip on. Now, one of the problems I had with the envelopes is when I have something like this that's quite a bulky amount of books, and so here I've used a bit of a file folder, but that's why the box system does work better, but I haven't really got enough space for that system. So then she goes to her next activity. So the next activity that I've got in here is a maths activity, and I've also put in a little laminated card that I made up that says work with mum. So she has to work with me on this activity. Now, she might get to this envelope and I'm not free to work with her. I might be doing maths with another child, or doing whatever, putting a load of washing on. So I might not be able to help her at the time. So she can just leave that out because I might not be ready. So she just leaves that out. We'll come back to that later. So then she pulls another one out, and this one is her copy work. So in here I've made a little laminated card that says copy work 1 page. So she just pulls it out, does some of her copy work, does 1 page. It's very easy to do, takes 5 minutes. But having them organised in this way just makes them understand how to schedule their work. So she does that. That's schedule strip number 4. She puts it on, and then she puts it down there. Next activity, number 5. It's amazing how quickly they can get through all these activities. It might look like a lot, but It's not that much. So here, I put another sticky note on and it says read one poem. So she reads the poem. She's got a bookmark in there. She gets schedule strip number 5. She puts that on. Now the great thing about this system is that they can feel like they're making progress because as their strips are emptying, they see that they can do it. So the next one, schedule strip number 6, is piano practice. So she does her piano practice, and that says here, you probably can't see it, but it says piano practice for 15 minutes. So she does that, then she puts on her strip, and that's done. Next one, number 7. In here, she's got a little book that she's having to read, and I've got that she's to read 3 pages. So I find this is an excellent way for you to get them to read all those books that you want them to read. And she actually has 6 books that she reads in her homeschool day. So this one, Meet the Lees, and she works through this novel. And then I just fill it up with another one that I want her to read. So number 7's done. So she looks on here, she pulls off number 7, puts it on down there. So number 8, she has some drill to do, so some Saxon maths drill. So she just works through her drill. I only make her do a half page a day. Doesn't take very long. They're pretty easy, these drills. And she finishes that. That's another work on your own. Does number 8, finishes, puts it down there. Now this one, I might only put this one in once a week. So this is her some great composers. Another thing I used to put in with the music one was listen to an episode of Classic Kids. So they do this, and then they finish it, put their schedule strip on, that's not sticking, and put it down there. So the next one, number 10, is their dictation work. So they do their dictation. I have the dictation book that they're to dictate from, but this is another work with mum. So if I'm not ready, this might again just go in the pile until I'm ready. Number 10 is her Apologia. So she's just reading a section of that a day, and I put a post-it note in there. Now this is another case where what she has to do doesn't fit into one of those envelopes, so I've just put it in a plastic package bag, and that's good enough. So she finishes that activity, she puts the sticker on, goes in her pile. And this is her language lessons, another work with mum. So I just like to have a look at what she's doing. We get to where she is. We look at the lesson. Often I do the lesson with them, and her brother, they do it together. So that has a work with mum sticker as well. So we usually do save up all the work with mum sticker things and do them at the same time. And so she's got a few things left on her schedule strip. She comes, gets me, and we just work through these things. And as she does each of these activities, the ones left over, this is getting towards the end of the day, there's 10, there's 12, and there's 3. We've done all of those. So we put all of those in our pile, and then they come to me and they say, Mum, I finished my homeschool. I tell them to pack up all their homeschool. So they get their pile that's down on the ground, and they pick it all up and put it back in their boxes. So it's all packed up. They put their schedule strips in the side, and then they take it and put it away. But the next day, I have to look through their work, and I can put their strips back on because I want them to do it. And if there's something I don't want them to do, so if I still want them to do that, I put that on. But if I didn't want them to do that, I could just take that out and not put the number on. So this one I want them to do that, so I put that back on. So if I have a short day where I only get a few things done, I can just put a few things on the schedule strip and I don't have to fill it up again. So I just find that this system works really well because the kids know exactly what they've got to do, and it makes you plan the day realistically. So if you've got to go out at 12 o'clock, you know that you're not going to get 12 things done. And so you just pick out the things that you want to do. Now I must say, we don't actually use the envelopes anymore. We have got rid of the envelopes because the kids know what they want to do, and they just use this basket and all their work's in the basket. And we've been using this system for about 4 years, and it helped me so much because everything used to be all over the place, and now it's all just in one spot, and each child has their own basket, and each child knows what they're supposed to do. So I hope you like our presentation today on how we organise our homeschool, and if you want to find out more about Workboxes and how that system works, I recommend you purchase Sue Patrick's ebook on the Workbox system and get it happening in your home as well. Well, thanks. Hope you like this presentation, and I hope to bring you a few more. So, bye-bye.